Hello, my name is Eddie Zacapa, and I'm a certified trainer with the Center for Nonviolent Communication and the founder of Life Enriching Communication. I'm also the author of Principles and Practices of Nonviolence, 30 Meditations for Practicing Compassion, and the book Essentials for Cultivating Passionate Volunteers and Leaders. Today, I want to share about why the key differentiations in nonviolent communication have been supportive to my learning practices, as well as my teaching of NVC. Firstly, I see the key differentiations as providing us with a choice in regard to how we want to show up in the world. This choice having to do with the type of connection that we want to have with ourselves, with others, with life, with the world. I think this is really important because it allows us to experience, and it has allowed me to experience, my heart softening. And what I mean by that is allowing my heart to be able to soften in such a way to want to get curious and open about what someone else's experience may be, as opposed to a closed heart where I'm not interested in that and where I maybe get stuck in enemy images of others, in a story, and in life alienating strategies. The key differentiations has helped me to see the difference between those two paths, and has helped me to live out my values and to be able to practice nonviolence in my life. I wanted to share a funny story with you that I find humorous, and it has to do with two spiritual gurus and one apprentice that decide to go fishing. So they go out. It's a beautiful day, and they're out there in the lake, in the boat. And one of the spiritual gurus says, "I forgot something." And so he proceeds to get out of the boat, puts one foot in the water, puts the other foot in the water, and starts walking on the water. Now the apprentice is shocked. He's in disbelief. Can't believe this, right? And then the spiritual guru comes back, grabs what he forgot, and walks back on the water all the way to the boat. And then the other spiritual guru proceeds to say, "I also forgot something." And so then he steps out of the boat and starts walking on water as well. Now the apprentice is just blown away by this. His jaw drops again. He can't believe this. And then he sees the spiritual guru come back walking on the water. And he starts to think, maybe there's something wrong with me. Maybe I should be able to do this. So then he decides to say, "I forgot something as well." And then he puts his first foot in the water, puts the other foot in the water, and he immediately sinks into the water. One of the spiritual gurus grabs his arm, and the other spiritual guru grabs his other arm. And as they lift him up out of the water, they look at each other and they say, "We should have told them where the rocks were." All humor aside, this story reminds me of the importance of knowing where the rocks are and helping others know where the rocks are so that they can navigate conflict and life the way they want to live. The key differentiations provide for me key principles that help guide my life and my decisions so that I can live in alignment with my values and not step in potholes that lead to disconnection. Without the distinctions they make, I could very well be lost, disconnected from others, and stimulating harm to myself or others. The key differentiations invite me to pause and choose what path I want to take. Considering that what comes as automatic was imprinted on me by conditioning, I find it important to pause and reflect on the choices I have. Prior to being exposed to nonviolent communication, my life was like a ball in a pinball machine. Once released, it would bang around and eventually end up coming out the bottom, battered and bruised. But now that I have this awareness, I have more control of how I respond to situations, people, and life, and no longer feel powerless, but empowered. When it comes to how the key differentiations have impacted my teaching, I would say they've allowed me to live and embody what I teach. Hearing a good teaching is great, but seeing someone practice what they teach is even better. I'm not just teaching concepts. I'm living out principles in my daily life. By choosing to live by NVC principles, I'm able to experience the why behind the teaching. I cannot imagine teaching nonviolent communication without the knowledge of the key differentiations. They are that essential. Thank you for listening to my experience with the key differentiations of nonviolent communication. If you are interested, I have created short videos on each of the key differentiations on my YouTube channel, Eddie Zacapa, Compassionate Communication Coach. I hope that you'll find them helpful and check them out. You can also find more information about me at my website, peaceloveandnonviolence.com, or my blog, harmonyoftheheart.com.